Hey everybody, Rob DeLessio. I'm with my good friend Cameron Metter. He's the executive chef of Yaya's Euro Bistro in beautiful Denver Tech Center. Today, what we're doing is a pan-seared salmon with a coconut curry beet puree over a bed of wild rice. Come on, let me show you how we do it. So welcome back. Now for those of you that are new, make sure that you go to our page and like and subscribe to our videos, and you'll see a lot of great content. Now, we're here at Yaya's in DTC, Denver Tech Center. I'm with my buddy Cam. We're doing a coconut curry beet puree.
Correct.
Tell me how we're gonna do that.
So we're gonna start by cutting down our onion.
Okay.
We'll sweat this in a little bit of oil, and you can just large dice these because it's gonna be pureed in the end.
You're using a white onion?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And so sweated onions, you're cooking it with a little bit of oil over kind of like a medium heat, just bringing a little bit of the flavors out, but you're not gonna brown it.
Correct. So next.
Using a yellow beet?
Yes, we are. And then we'll peel this guy down. I recommend cutting your slices pretty small.
Okay.
Cuts the cook time down.
Nice. Now, some of you might be scared of beets. They're absolutely delicious. Just give them a chance.
They are.
Now, and hopefully you can peel them as fast as that. I can't do that. How about your the food background? Like, what got you into cooking?
Actually, my mom. I grew up single mother. You know, that was just kind of one of our times to actually hang out, do stuff together.
Now, are you from the Denver area?
I am not. So I'm actually from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Awesome.
Which is where I started with Yaya's, and then I've transferred out here since.
Awesome. Cool. All right, so we did thin slices, if you'll see, nice and thin. That way, like he said earlier, it'll just cook a lot easier. Super simple.
So once you've sweated your onions down, add garlic. I like to add roasted garlic. Adds a little bit more depth.
Okay.
To the dish.
So do you buy like a whole peeled and then you roast them off yourself?
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Once you've sweated your onion and your garlic down, I'll deglaze with rice wine vinegar.
Okay.
At that point is when I'll add my spices in. So we use a yellow curry and a turmeric.
Okay. Perfect.
After that has reduced down just a little, we'll finish off with the coconut milk.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's get to it.
Okay, a question we get asked all the time, mutual funds. What are mutual funds? And if you've got a retirement plan through work and you're contributing to it, chances are you've got mutual funds right now. They've been around for over 100 years. They're like the old school, the old hat, if you would. Basically what a mutual fund is, it's a company that holds a bunch of individual positions, and they have a board of directors and they have fund managers and all of these other things that decide how the fund is going to work. But there's all kinds of different ones. There's a time to use mutual funds, there's a time not to use mutual funds. One of the things you want to be aware of is that you're not getting a fund that is too expensive. But just so you know, there's open-end funds, and that means there's an unlimited amount of shares. You contribute money, you get a certain number of shares. Closed-end funds, completely different. They have a set block of shares, and when they're gone, they're gone. Now, just know that there are different kind of charges in every single mutual funds. There's management fees, 12B1 fees, front-end loads, back-end loads. It's literally like they come up with a fee for just about anything. My advice to you would be to talk to a financial professional to make sure that if you are buying mutual funds, that you're buying as low cost of mutual funds as possible, or if you need them at all. So make sure you talk to a financial professional.
Okay, so we pureed down the coconut curry beet puree.
We did.
Woof, that's a lot of words. So we're gonna do a salmon. Now, what kind of salmon is this? Where's it come from?
This is a Scottish salmon.
Scottish salmon.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so we've got, what, Canadian salmon, Scottish salmon, Chilean salmon, and then of course, Alaskan salmon, but you can only get that a couple weeks a year. So what they do is, Scottish salmon, they have these open pens in the water, and the fish just actually eat whatever comes through. So you can see it's got those great veins, if you would, like the fat lines, that nice deep orange color, and it's absolutely delicious. So, all right, so we're gonna pan sear that.
We are.
Okay, lightning hot pan. Remember, your pan's gotta be really, really hot, and you don't wanna have too much oil in it, otherwise you're gonna end up braising it. You don't wanna do that.
Right.
So, all right, let's go.
So let's start with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Kosher salt.
Like you said, this fish is fatty, and that's where all the flavor is, so it doesn't need a lot of help.
And that's just like a canola olive oil blend?
It's a 75-25
Okay.
Canola extra virgin olive oil.
Perfect, okay. You never want to use extra virgin olive oil itself because it's got a very low smoke point. You'll end up smoking the house out. So make sure that you use a blended oil. Now, what temperature do you generally serve this at?
I would say a good medium rare.
Medium rare,
Where,
okay.
Where you want your Scottish
So
salmon.
you're gonna do like 3 to 4 minutes aside?
Yeah.
Okay, so some more oil. Now we're gonna saute the veg part. And tell us what we've got going on here.
So what we have here is a long grain wild rice, baby kale, and
Okay.
these are oven dried tomatoes.
Oven dried, okay, nice. Now how long do you parboil that rice?
So black rice is going to take a little bit longer to cook. Traditionally, it'll be about a 30-45 minute cook time. We do it for about 35 just to hold that little bit of crispness to it.
Nice.
So when we pick it
you
back
still want to
up-
have a little bit of bite left
Exactly.
to it. Absolutely. So what you're adding right there, just a little bit of dry white wine.
Correct.
Give it a little bit of that extra tang to it.
Right.
Okay.
And then I always try to save the kale for the last.
Absolutely. So it doesn't wilt too much.
Correct.
So you can look, when you put the salmon in the pan, you kind of want to let it set for a while so you'll get that nice crust on it. It'll give you a really good bite when you're eating into it. So you get it set, you might loosen it a little bit, we just did that, and then that's when you're going to flip and then we'll be ready.
Kill the heat there.
And I want every one of you guys to try, I want you to try to do that saute and don't throw it all over the place. Okay, so we're done here?
Yeah, we are.
All right, so now it's time to plate up. The most fun part. Actually, eating it's the most fun part. Second most fun part.
We're going to start with a little puree on the bottom of the plate.
And so there's a big saying about that you eat with your eyes, and so presentation's really where it's at. So that's why you put the puree on the bottom. Then I'm gonna guess that he's gonna make a nice little nest.
Correct.
All right. You've got that baby kale greens, that wild northern grain rice, oven roasted tomatoes, and then the guest of honor. All right, so to garnish,
Just for a little more color,
some microgreens,
micro basil, and then a little chili oil.
a little chili oil. And what kind of chili powder do you use to make that?
That's harissa.
Harissa. Awesome. All right. Looks unbelievable. I can't wait to taste it. And there you have it, a pan-seared salmon with a coconut curry beet puree over a bed of wild rice. Make sure you go to our page, subscribe, like our videos. You'll see some amazing, awesome content just like this. I'm Rob D'Alessio, this is Cameron Metter, and that was A Taste of Retirement.